we're very pleased to introduce to San Francisco an artist from Poland, Kaja Renkas, who's we know her primarily as a poster artist, but she does a lot instruction and is part of the design group in Poland. And so we wanted to at least put this out and invite people to come see the show. It's very beautiful. We'll take a look at some of the art and just talk to Kaja a bit. I guess primarily about posters. And so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for invitation. It's beautiful space.
Yeah, and you've been to San Francisco before, but only briefly. So you've had a few days to really go and check it out here.
Yes, and
yeah.
I love the city really.
Yeah, it's
It's
nice.
amazing. It's magic city for me.
Yeah. I wanted to say that I've known about Polish poster art for a long time, almost by accident. When I was back in the 1970s, I was given posters from a friend who had gone to Europe and brought these posters as a gift to me, and I was just blown away. Before I even thought about posters as something I would be involved in as I am now. It turned out that they were two, one was a circus poster, and the other one was a poster by Jan Safka, who I learned a lot about later on. But it didn't surprise me to come to understand that the poster has a large, important role in the cultural heritage of Poland. And so I'm curious, were you aware of the American poster movement that we now celebrate? I mean, the posters that started here on Haight Street and became what are now called gig posters. They were made to promote the concerts. Is there an awareness in Poland about that, the way Polish poster art is appreciated here?
I think in Poland it started after Second World War, during communism time.
Yeah.
When all institutions, theater, cinemas, culturals, buildings,
Yes.
they have a lot of money for ordered posters. Especially it started when to cinemas went movies from US, for example, and they sent it to Poland just photos.
That's all you knew, yes.
Yeah, of course. And in Poland, people wanted to have some images, some interpretation of it.
Yes.
And it's like it started.
Well, that's something that I mentioned the other day to you. We have a show here that showcases 4 contemporary music concert poster artists. And when I mentioned that you were coming and I mentioned the Polish posters, they all just lit up. They know all about Polish posters. And the thing that was really impressed upon me was how they were so excited that in Poland there appeared to be this incredible freedom among the artists where the image didn't have to really be a picture of a movie star or even the title of the film so much, but it was just an image.
Yeah, it was just the image from some imagination about the event. Yes.
Yeah. And
they can do whatever they want.
But you see, that sort of freedom, to me, connected to how the posters here began in the counterculture in the 1960s, because the artists then were given total freedom. In fact, they were non-commercial in a sense. They were more like personal invitations to little parties before they got to be a business and then on to an industry. So the similarities, I think, were striking, and all I know is that Polish posters here are really looked highly upon culturally. So the other thing that, and we're going to in a little bit go take a look at some of Kaja's work, which is really remarkable. The show is called Elements, and not only do we have posters, but we have some objects that she's brought, that she created, that I think of as kind of a vocabulary almost of the imagery that you use in your work. And then there's another surprise that we can show people about this new technology that you're involved in with poster art. One of the things that I just wanted to, again, make mention of is, in my mind, that is interesting is how in America, technology and particularly social media and web technology has impacted the poster importance. You know, that people now can posters traditionally were there to kind of connect people and inform people about events and motivate them and mobilize them, and now that a lot of that's done on the internet. And so consequently, the posters that we now see and appreciate are often done after the fact of an event. They're not necessarily done to put up on a telephone pole as they had been, but they're there to kind of just celebrating and become the artifact that's left behind from the live concert. But in Poland, they're still done in advance of a show or an opera or a concert. They're still commissioned in the traditional way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
It's still stay in traditional way.
And what happened because of the kind of the commercialization of posters here, as that declined, it opened an opportunity for our artists to print on their own rather than be commissioned as they had been in the past, which gives them control of the posters, and in some cases they've retained the copyright. So there are economic benefits that have just kind of naturally developed. And you had mentioned that more and more your artists are trying to become aware of how they can do better financially, because posters are traditionally commissioned, and you're not in control of the printing and the production and the sales necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it started now in Poland because we have easy access to digital prints.
Right.
So it's the reason, because still offset litho it's quite expensive and you need many copies of the posters.
Yeah.
But the digital print give you this kind of freedom. You can just print 5, 10 posters, and it's enough for you.
Yeah, and here most of the artists that have done very well and are well known with a following can do quite nicely by doing very limited numbers, and they're made primarily to offer to galleries or collectors. So we want to take a walk into the gallery and take a look at some of the work that's going to be available, but I really encourage people to come down. The show opens tonight, which is October the 28th, and it's going to run for 3.5 or 4 weeks at the Haight Street Art Center, 215 Haight Street.